Bassheads, what's good? Welcome to another, you know how we do around here. This is an R2D2 cup. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ted and I talk bass. We won't be here long today because I got things to do. Well, I have things to do most days, but you know. Listen, this video or live stream, depending on what time you're watching, is brought to you by Bass Note Master. Stop guessing the notes on your fretboard. Pick it up. Free to start. $9.99 after that. Free updates, all that stuff. Not a subscription. One lifetime purchase. Got to get that coffee in you. Got to get that coffee in you. Yesterday, we talked about a couple of positions for major scales. I'm going to do this for 4-string folks and for 5-string folks. All right, I should put on some of these. Now, yesterday, we talked about two positions. We talked about position 7-1, or otherwise known as root position. We talked about position 3, which starts off the 3rd scale degree. We talked about position 5, starts on the 5th scale degree, right? But that is a lot of information to grasp. You know, I want to get you this and have you practice. Put some time into this, right? And we're gonna go slow, but we're gonna cover all keys today. Let's start from a 4-string perspective for my 4-string folks. The first key is what? The first key in the circle of 4ths and 5ths. We're going to go straight up and down, right? Matter of fact, let me show you something real quick, which is inside of Bass Note Master. Let me show you real fast. There is a circle of 5ths in here. So if we go clockwise, we're going in 5ths. If we go counterclockwise, we're going in 4ths. We are going to go counterclockwise in 4ths. So we're going to start with C. And what we're going to do is we're going to see all of these on one string. So C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and then C. I'm using my second finger. Thanks for the super chat. I'm using my second finger purposely. Let me do that again. This is for my 4-string folks. My 4-string folks, ignore the B string. C, F. Now for F, I'm using my first finger for a very specific reason because we are going to use a different shape there. But let's look at 2 different places to play the F. If I wanted to stay just in this 7-1 root position idea, then I would go C. I would have to go beyond the 12th fret, okay, to maintain that shape. So let's do that. So we can maintain the same shape the whole way, right? C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and then C. What does this do for us? Here's that shape. Again, root position. This is for my 4-stringers. If you're joining late, this is my 4-stringers, right? There's B, C, D. Okay? I'm going to repeat it one more time. If you're coming in here right now, this is for my 4-stringers. We're going to do another thing for my 5-stringers, right? But I'm going to change bases for that. All right? That way I can get all of the notes. I forgot a note. I'm getting all the notes of that major scale available to me within a 4 fret area. F. What's the next key? B flat. Next key is E flat. Now I'm going to go kind of quickly, so you'll have to, because we can't be here all day. You know what I mean? And, you're going to have to rewatch and stuff like that. Now, where did I end? E flat. So the next key is A flat. D flat. G flat or F sharp. B. E. Now we could play open E, but we're staying within a certain frame, a certain fingering idea. All right, so we're going to go up to the 12th fret. The next key is A. Next key is D. What's the next key? It's going to be G. And then we're back to C. Okay, now let's give it some context. Okay, we're going to give this a little bit more context. I'm going to use iReal Pro. I used this yesterday, and I'm just using this because it's the quickest. I didn't want to make a backing track, and it's the quickest thing for me to pull up, right? And it's going to play 2 5-1s through each key. We talked about what 2 5-1s were yesterday, so I'm not going to cover that, right? Or we've talked about it some other time. So all I'm using is iReal Pro. iReal Pro has been around forever, all right? We're playing 2 5-1s the whole way, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play the scale because all of the notes in the scale are going to sound pleasant. Now, listen, for you purists out there, this is a particular exercise. We're just doing this, all right? Get off my back. Okay? We'll talk about 2 5-1s later. But here we go. I don't know why I did that. We're going to F. I just want to say this real quick. In that 2-bar, I'm already thinking, what's the next key? The next key is F. I'm giving my brain time to go to that next key, okay? We'll get to the 5-stringers in a second. My 5-string folks, we're going to get to y'all in a second. But here we go. C. F. B flat. flat. Now I'm just, I want to make this a little bit interesting for myself now. D flat. Next key is G flat. Down here, right? Just G flat. Now we're going to B. Now we're going to E, maintaining the same shape. Now we're going to A. I'm still in the same shape, so even though it sounds like I'm doing something fancy, I'm really not. D. Now we're going to G. Back to C. And then we would just go the cycle. So all I'm doing is going through all of those keys, right? All of those keys. Now, that makes sense? What about if we take this shape now, this 7-1 shape or this root position shape? This is still for my 4 stringers, but my 5 stringers, you would do that same idea on the lowest string. You dig? So for instance, for C, F, my 4 stringers, my 5 stringers, you would have to go to the lowest string. Let's look at the 2-5-1 thing, right? C, there's C. D is 2, 5, 1. Let's just play roots. Let's just play the roots. Huh? Let's just do that. We're going to maintain that same fingering shape though, so we can remember. We're just going to play the roots. 2, 5, 1, then, 2, 5, 1. We could actually do that here. 2, 5, 1. All right. But we're going to look at the roots of the scale, roots of each chord. I'm sorry, the roots of each scale from the E string. 2, 5, 1. Now we're going to F. I'm already thinking I'm going to B flat now. Where's B flat? Right here. What key am I going to? I'm going to E flat. Now I'm on a 5 string. Watch this. Now we're going to A flat. I'm already thinking ahead. Thinking ahead, we're going to D flat. Thinking ahead, we're going to G flat. Thinking ahead, we're going to the key of B. If you know what key we're going to next, Type it in the chat. What key we going to next? Put that 5 string to work. We're in the key of E. Now we're going to go to the key of D. Now we're going back to C. We're going to add thirds. I'm just playing the thirds of each one of those chords. The root and the third. We're going to key of B flat now. Root, minor third. Root, major third, root. I'm going to hold on the root. Let's go to E flat, root, minor third, root, minor third below, root. Maintaining the same shape. A flat, minor third. Now we're going to go to D flat, major, root, minor third, root, major third, root above. Let's go to G flat, root, minor third, root, third below, and then we have our target there. Next key. Go to the key of E. Maintaining the same shape. Key of D. I cheated a little bit because I went out of the shape I was supposed to be doing. G. Let's add some fifths in there. I goofed there. F. B flat. We are moving in fourths. A flat. D flat. I need to go back to the shape. G flat. Key of B. I added a seventh. A. the key of G. Let's go back to those scale shapes. Key of F. Key of B flat. I'm calling them out. Key of E flat. Key of A flat. Going next. Let's go to the key of D flat. G flat next. I resolved on the third. Key of E. A. D. I haven't left the shape now. Everything I'm doing is within those shapes. G. Resolved on the B. Now C. So what I'm hoping happened today is that you got some ideas for that position, that root position. Again, starting from, let's just take the key of C. I'm going to just review this real quick. That root position, here's the box that we're all accustomed to, that we learned beginning, okay? But we got good notes here on the G string, and there's a note there. Now we're going to talk about that B string. So if I'm on a 4 string and I'm playing C major here, I can't ignore these notes, because those notes are a part of the C major scale. And then there's the 7. Now if I'm on a 5 string, which I am, I got those notes, but then that turns this, if I'm looking at it from the lowest string, that turns this into position 5, because starting on G. Does that make sense? Please let me know that that makes sense in the chat. So there would be that position there. The position that we mostly focused on was this. What I would suggest is, if you have a key that you're working on, that you want to be more familiar with, get one position at a time. This is not the way, it's a way. You get a position at a time, and then start looking at the, like C, open position on a 5 string bass is going to be here. There's that one position, right? I could also play that scale like this. So what I'm doing now is finding pathways. And I'm not a fast player. I'm not. I want to increase my speed. Maybe I'll take lessons myself. I might find somebody to take lessons from myself, but because I'm not above that. What's going to happen is that you're going to find that these shapes overlap. I won't cover all of that again today. We did a lot of that yesterday. But, so there's that position down there. Look at position 7-1. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So these types of things for me, just like open up, another understanding besides just having your line or your bass groove or whatever. You start to understand a little bit more context, why stuff works. Let's loop this C major idea, 2-5-1 in C major, and I'm not going to think about the 2-5-1 specifically, right? Right now I'm just going to think about the overall picture of the scale. So in this position, I haven't even talked about like resolving if you want to resolve to a certain chord tone or whatever. I haven't even talked about that. We're just meandering in the scale, right? So 4-string. Four-string. 5-string. That's one position. Let's look down here. C major. That would be the same. Oh, looky. But what about, oh, looky. Watch this. Now, if I'm doing that with D, then that must mean that must be Dorian mode. Holy shit. Pentatonic. Okay, enough of that. I'm not a, to be honest with you, I feel very, right now, I'm super self-conscious about my soloing. A lot of bass players are. Because I'm a human being and I get caught up in my own head and shit like that and whatever. And I know that comes from a couple of things. It comes from my diet isn't right, and I'm not talking about the diet that I'm eating. I'm talking about what I'm listening to. I had to take my own advice sometimes. Look at me being transparent as fuck with you, right? If you got virgin ears, this, every now and again I'm gonna drop an F-bomb. Because we're, we grown. But my diet, man, I'm thinking like, damn, what am I listening to? What's really, doing it for me right now? I got to look at that and then keeping some things in context. Anyway, but when I'm shedding, that's really why I'm doing this. It's kind of selfish too, and putting myself back into this beginner or intermediate or early mind, whatever words you want to use, and say, okay, put some parameters on yourself. Stick to this one position. You know what I mean? I'm working on something right now. I'm getting back into when I used to do thump stuff, more, thump melody. Learning this bass and all that stuff. Anyway, I'm tangenting. I got to get ready for this rehearsal today. I got rehearsal from 3 to 6. I may do some, if it's appropriate, do some live stuff. But listen, before I tangent, you folks that are just jumping in, you're going to have to get on the replay. What you need to walk away from this with is position 7-1 or root position. Get that down and work that all over the neck. And then find shit to do within it. Your pentatonic. Right? Let's, you know what? Shit. I said I was gonna go, but let's do something. I'm gonna change this to this groove to R&B. Let's see how it rolls. F. I'm gonna move between. D flat. G flat. B. A. I love seeing that you guys say you love learning. You know, for me, when I went back, for those who don't know, I went back to college. I went to school at the age of 35 years old. I got a BA in music at 41. And in school, in like regular school, I was a horrible student because I was bored. I was bored. But when I got to school and I was learning, so I was like, oh shit, that's how this works and that works. And it was exciting. I loved it. I love it now. But I know for myself, I'll be transparent. I know for myself in my own practice, I need some more discipline. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need some more discipline. I'm kind of all over the place right now, you know? So, you know, it happens. Different seasons. Something else I was thinking about right now while I'm playing, like, you know, they used to say, don't shed in public, you know, don't practice in public. But what I have to tell myself when I start fucking up, it's because I'm trying to play something that I think is going to sound good to you. And that's a mistake that's a mistake for me. Look at this transparency. Look at me just laying myself bare. But that's real talk. That's real talk. It happens. I know that it happens to me when I'm on stage and I have to play. I got a solo section coming up in a tune. I'm really kind of nervous about it. And I'll tell you why. This is my mental thing. Because the bass player who I know this artist plays with a lot is like a monster bass player. And I already know. You are not him. Doesn't mean he's better than you, right? He's the best him that there is. You're the best you that there is. So whenever I'm playing on stage and I got a solo or something, and I give too much of a shit about who's out there, my shit falls apart. And when I don't care, or when I'm just like, nah, I'm into this. I'm into whatever the musical statement is or whatever, then I'm like, I feel free as a bird. You know, last weekend I felt really free. Like felt really, really free. So, you know, I'm human. So this is the kind of balancing act we do. The psychological reps or whatever we got to go through. I know I go through them, and I would guess that. Excuse me. I would guess that, you know, PD Bass posted something on Instagram the other day, and it was him and Christian McBride. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. And you know, he was thinking, you know, he was like, you know, you could tell, yeah, but he's a monster. You know, I'm good at what I do. I can always be better. There's always something to learn. Right? And not being afraid to sound where's that auto pad? I said I was gonna get off. Get off. 23 positions in a one night stand. Get off. I said I was getting off of here, but let's see. Another thing right here in this moment. Right here in this moment, thinking about my touch. Now, listen to what, so, okay. Fucking hell, somebody's gonna get a goddamn nugget. Right now, you're gonna get, this gonna make a light bulb go off for somebody, and if it does, goddamn it. I'm sitting here just, I got a pad playing. And then this melody came up in my head. It was a song that I heard yesterday. And oddly enough, this song always reminds me of 9/11 because the album was hot that year. So here's that. Let me see if I find it again. And just so you know, right here, there's C sharp minor. Let me see if I find it again. I gotta add the fourth in there. I gotta add the fourth in. ride that note, and I'm trying to stay away from the pen. Back. You know what song I'm talking about? Let me get back to what I'm doing. Then I lost focus. Shit. Your body is a wonderland. But then when I wasn't thinking about it, I had it, and then I started thinking about it, and I lost it. I don't normally play that like that. Were those Stevie lines major pentatonic? Absolutely. Absolutely. I switched. I was in E major before. And then I went to E minor. Because the pad is ambiguous. When I was in E major, relative minor, C sharp minor. Sorry. G major, E minor. Sorry. Shit. All right, I'm losing focus and discipline and all that stuff. As Anton Bradley says, it beckons you. I need to get back to my coffee and I need to get ready for the rest of my day. Anyway, hope you had fun. I did. I need some more discipline and maybe some Adderall. I'm just kidding. I don't do medication on any level. All right, peace, y'all.